Mr. Mayor. Well, this is an honor this evening to be able to swear in the newly elected officers of the city of San Bruno. It's a special honor because this is such a wonderful city, a great city to live for the residents, but also a great city to be part of as a community in the community of San Mateo County. So what I'd like to do is first swear in John Marty. John, please come up and give you the oath of office. I'd like to stand there. Nice to see you, John. And if you would repeat after me. I, and state your name,
I, John Marty,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California,
to the Constitution of the United States and to the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
and I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
discharge the duties about which I am about to enter.
Congratulations, John. Can we do this? Thank you, John. Carol, please come up. It's your turn. Great. I
I, Carol Bonner,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California,
to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
without any mental
Reservation.
reservation or purpose of evasion,
And that I will well and faithfully
and that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
Congratulations, Carol. It's
Thank
wonderful. I love it. The beautiful certificate has her name on it, and she signed it at the bottom as the clerk, too. So that makes it official, I guess. Ken Abera, please come forward. What an honor tonight for me to swear you in. I, and state your name,
I, Ken Ibera,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California
that I will defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California,
to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
and that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
discharge the duties that I am about to enter.
Congratulations, Ken. Wonderful. Rico Medina. Another honor to do this. I'm so fortunate tonight. Such great leadership in San Bruno. Rico, if you state your name.
I, Rico Medina,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California
I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California,
to the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
and I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
discharge the duties upon which I'm about to enter.
Rico, congratulations. Mr. Mayor, the changing of the guard, and as Larry said, peacefully in the city. Only in America. Especially when you read some of the news articles about what goes on in the world. It's just terrible. Jim, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, state your name,
I, Jim Ruane,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California,
to the Constitution of the United States and to the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
and that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
discharge the duties upon which I'm about to enter.
Congratulations, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
Now let's do this. Slide over this way. Thank you. We do have two more business items, unfortunately, we have to conduct tonight. But before that, I would like to ask the newly sworn-in officials, council members, clerk, and treasurer, if they'd like to say a few words. Carol.
I want to say thank you. Thank you for no one running against me. Thank you for all the votes you gave. I mean, you have no idea. The last 4 years have been a learning curve, and I feel like I've achieved so much. But when it was time to run again, I dreaded having to go out and knock on those doors. I dreaded having to do all the solicitation I did 4 years ago. And you believed in me, and all I can say is thank you very much.
Treasurer John Marty.
I, too, would like to thank everyone and echo Carol's sentiments. There are a few people I would like to acknowledge. My parents, Gene and Yvonne Marty, who had just celebrated their 60th wedding anniversary, so I thank them. My brother Paul's here, and one of my 6 sisters, Celeste, is here as well. My brother-in-law, Tom. But most importantly, probably the person responsible for us being in San Bruno is my wife. She convinced us a number of years ago to leave San Francisco to move to San Bruno because it's a great city, and in fact, she was oh so right. So you can blame her for all this. Also, my 4 children, Danielle, Jennifer, Jack, and Joey. Without them, I mean, life's nothing. So thank you all again.
Councilmember Ibarra.
Thank you, Mayor Ruane.
Thank you.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it sounds great.
You know, nearly 27 years ago, I returned to San Bruno and started a family. And within a year, I started a business. And ironically, one of my first clients was realtor, Larry Franzella. And needless to say, I haven't done any work with him since then. I don't think. But we became friends, and it's been a long road. And I'll talk about the current mayor, but it has been a wonderful time. I've been honored and privileged to serve with you. And I'm actually happy to be a good friend of yours, and I can't say anything else other than thank you for the opportunity. I'd like to also thank you for a nice election. The fourth term being probably the least expensive and the least tiring, but I truly do still am honored to be serving this city. I love this city, and I love the accomplishments that we've all done, citizens, staff, and this council, over the last 14, 15 years. Thank you to a good friend, Assemblyman Jerry Hill, for being here and taking this honor. Supervisor Mark Church, thank you. I also want to thank all the citizens, all the friends and people that I'm still meeting and talking to and trying to address their needs in this community. City staff, I wouldn't be even considering being here if we didn't have such a good city staff and getting things done. Not only paid staff, but also elected officials, too. We've had past and present many good elected officials, and we have gotten things done. And I look forward to serving with Mayor Ruane. I want to acknowledge it's very touching that I have my closest family here. Amy, who's the love of my life, has been with me throughout all of this. I have my daughters, Lindsay and Janelle. My son-in-law Mike is here, and the most beautiful kid that I see every other day or so, Brianna, my granddaughter. So I look forward to seeing her grow up in this community also. But I'd just like to say that I'm speechless as far as all the things that we've done and working with this council, working with a new council member in the near future. I think we're still getting things done. We work well together, and I really look forward to the improvements and brighter days for the community of City of San Bruno. Thank you very much.
And Councilmember Rico Medina.
In honor of you, Mr. Mayor, I will keep this brief.
You heard him.
I want to thank, obviously, the dignitaries that have already been mentioned here this evening. Of course, can't thank enough Mayor Franzella for his service and dedication, and yes, even during the meetings, the passion that he showed at many times. I've had the privilege to work with and learn from you, and I'm grateful for the time and the help that you gave me over these last 4 years. And I know that the community thanks you for your service and dedication that you've given. I also, of course, want to congratulate Mayor Ruane, and I realize that during your term, it will take all of us to work together diligently to see our city through any challenging times, and you have my full support, and I wish you the very best in these next couple years. I also wish to congratulate Ken and Carol and John on their re-election, and I probably would join them as well to say we're appreciative that we were allowed this opportunity unopposed, and I wish them the best of luck in their next 4 years. I also, of course, want to thank my committee that helped me in 2005, who stepped up without any hesitation or reservation in 2009 in case we did have to run a campaign. And I appreciate Laura, Jim, Carrie, Jessica, and Polly for always being there and being a strong support for me. I'm so appreciative and I'm fortunate to have family and friends who have and continue to be there to assist and support me during this process and my term in office. Without their support and love, I would not be able to serve this city as effectively or as dedicated. I wish to thank the people of San Bruno who offer their support, their words of advice, who tell me of their areas of interest and of their concerns. I want to thank the city employees who who continue to serve the citizens of this community even as they face furloughs and reduced resources. I believe that the next couple of years will be filled with challenging issues and hard decisions for us as a council and as a community. I feel that we need to communicate and inform better the citizens of this city and reach out for their participation and involvement in the process. It will take all of us, irregardless of age, what group we are affiliated with, or what area of town we may live in. What was then is not now, and what was yesterday is not today. And today it will take all of us to be engaged, to offer comments, to bring forward ideas, and to come up with solutions in order to maintain the things that matter to us as a community and to continue to improve the city that we call home. I continue to be fortunate and blessed to live in this community I have called home my entire life and have so many people that have helped me along the way. Without the love and support of this town and the people in it, I again would not be sitting before you tonight, and I promise to continue my commitment and dedication to this community that I love and to all the citizens of the city of San Bruno. Thank you.
My turn. I had to run a campaign. It was good, it was fun. I get to speak longest. No, I'm not going to speak very long. A few well-deserved thank yous. First of all, the dignitaries that are here tonight, especially Assemblyman Hill for swearing us all in and doing the honors. It's an honor for us. Special thanks to outgoing Mayor Larry Franzella for his leadership over the last 10 years. He has put in an inordinate amount of time and effort behind the scenes to help guide this city in both smooth and rough waters. Thanks to my treasurer, who I always forget to mention, Rob Avison, who has been right there when I needed him during the last 5 elections. To all of the voters who put their trust in me, all of the contributors to my campaign, whether they wrote a check or made a phone call or put up a sign or gave a coffee, I can't thank you enough. Another special thanks to organized labor for your efforts on my behalf. To my fellow council members for your confidence in my abilities. I firmly believe San Bruno has one of the most stable and accomplished city councils on the entire peninsula. To our city staff and every one of the San Bruno city employees, we have shared when times were better, and I know I can speak for the entire council when I say we appreciate your concessions and cooperation as we make our way through this financial labyrinth, the majority of which was created by entities over which we had no control. A note of appreciation to all of our commissions, boards, committee, and volunteer members. You are an integral part of what keeps this city with a heart pumping. The most sincere thank you of all to my family and friends, both immediate and extended, many of whom are here this evening. My son Jim, who was always in the background offering very important bits of advice and strategy, and daughter-in-law Monica, and our 3 grandsons, Gavin, Patrick, and Brendan. My daughter Stephanie and her fiance Dan, and of course my wife Noreen. I must admit she was a little apprehensive about this whole mayor thing, but when it finally took off, she was my strongest supporter. She actually put up virtually all of my lawn signs. She has been my best friend and my first lady for over 36 years, and now she shares that title with all of you. It would be difficult for me to tell you what an honor it is to be your mayor. Suffice to say that 14 years ago, I committed to working honestly and hard for all of our best interests. I believe I have done that and commit to you that I will continue to work just as hard in representing your city and its well-being. The old cliche couldn't be truer now. This is where the rubber meets the road. Problem is now the road has a few more potholes than usual and the tires are running kind of thin. But we have positioned ourselves as a city to aggressively embrace every positive opportunity that comes our way. I look forward to the challenge. Once again, thank you.